Welcome to Brindavan, a Parthasadi family Samarpanam to our beloved parents, a space for enjoying Vaishnava Sampradaya, slokas, songs, Divya Desams, and much more. Again, Namaskar Muttama Bhagavatas. Today on Periyazhwar Thirumozhi on Iswati, 5th July 2025, we will see the next Divya Desam, the fourth Divya Desam, Thirukkudandhai, along with Periyazhwar. We dedicate this to our parents, Rajalakshmi and Srinivasa Iyengar, and Kamala and Seshadri. Our mission of Vrindavan will focus on 4 pathways to Vaishnava-anubhavam: Pasurams and Slokas in Santai form, Pasurams and Slokas as music, Divya Kshetrams Mahimai, and classical art forms. Enhancing our focus for better organized Anubhavam, we have launched our own website, brindavanjapam.org. We request people to give us a feedback on the website. Ramanuja Daya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Mande Vedanta Desikam Sri Sailesa Daya Patram Deepatyadi Gunathamam Yatindra Pravanam Mande Ramyajamataram Munim. Our Dandavat Pranams and Dhanyavad to Sriman Gomatam Ramkumar Seshadri Swamin of Lubbock, Texas, and Aravind Narasimharaghavan Swamin of Columbus, Ohio, for teaching us Divya Prabandham with Arthabhava. Dhanyosmi to Aarti Parthasadi for reciting Periyazhwar Thaniyan along with me. The following organizations have provided a wealth of knowledge on the internet for us to enrich and enjoy, some of which have been used here: Vaishnava Sampradaya, Acharya.org, Anadinam.org, and Prapatti.com. Periyazhwar in his Periyazhwar Thirumozhi has sung on 6 Divya Desams of Chozha Natty Tirupathi: Thiruvarangam, Thiruvellarai, Thiruppurnagar, Koviladi, Thirukkudandhai, Thirukannapuram, and Thiruchilthrakootam, which is Chidambaram. We will sing these pasurams and visit these Divya Desams in the same order. There are 51 pasurams by various Alvars: Periyazhwar, Andal, Thirumanchiyalvar, Thirumangiyalvar, Bhudathalvar, Periyazhwar, and Nammalvar on this Aravamudan. Arada Amudam, Aravamudam. The 51 pasurams and the prabandhams in which we can find them are Periyazhwar, Periyazhwar Thirumozhi; Andal, Nachiyar Thirumozhi; Thirumangiyalvar, Periya Thirumozhi, Thirukkudandhai, Thirunedanthandagam, Thiruvellarai, Siriya Thirumadal, and Periya Thirumadal; Bhudathalvar in Irandam Thiruvandadi, Periyazhwar in Moondam Thiruvandadi, Nammalvar in Thiruvaimozhi, and Thirumanchiyalvar in Nangam Thiruvandadi and Tiruchendavirtham. Thirukkudandhai is known as Kumbakonam. It is an overnight travel from Chennai. There are 283 kilometers on the Chennai-Tanjavur route. Thirukkudandhai is a very holy town and it's a very divine town. There are beautiful temples all over the town. To name some few are Sarangapani or Aravamudan temple, which has 11-tier Gopuram, and the Sannadhi itself of Perumal is made like a chariot, and it has certain other uniquenesses as well, which we will see as we go. The other temples in Thirukkudandhai are Chakrapani temple and Ramaswamy temple. The Kumbeshwaran Kovil, all of them have very beautiful architecture made in those days by the Chola kings. In this Kshetram, Thiruvellarai has a very unique experience with Bhagavan, and which describes the Sausiliam and the Saulabhyam of Perumal and the close relationship between Alvar and Perumal. Perumal is Sarangapani or Aravamudan. Perumal in Uttanasayana. He is Uttanasai, that means he is doing some work. And Aravamudan means Arada Amuda, that is, we are never satiated with the divine nectar of Bhagavan. Arada Amuda, Aravamudan. Tayar is beautiful. Komalavalli Tayar. Komalam is again beauty. And Perumal is facing east. The Tirumuga Mandalam is facing east. Perumal is in Uttanasayanam. That is, he is doing some work. So, it's called Uttanasai. Tirtham is Hema Tirtham or Potramaraikulam. Today, being Kanu, the 15th of January, I remember very vividly when I was there during the Kanu time, and how in that Potramarai temple tank, all the Tayars from several of the temples around, they come and do the Kanapadi. Though I had this bhagyam of seeing this several years ago, I remember it so vividly. That is a beauty of things were being conducted. Kaveri Nadi is another Tirtham and Arasalar is another Tirtham. The Vimanam is Vaidika Vimanam, what is called Veda Vimanam. Perumal is Pratyaksham to Hema Maharshi. Srimad Nada Munigal heard the Aravamade Pasuram of Nammalvar for this Divya Desam and went and collected all the 4,000 Divya Pramadam Pasurams. One more unique feature is Thirumanchai Alvar, when he came to the temple, Perumal tried to get up to give him darshanam and to meet with Alvar. But when Alvar says, Kidandavari ezhundiru, that is, you just stay as you are, give me darshanam the way you are, Perumal just stops there. That is Uttanasayana. That is why here Uttanasayana Tirukkolam is one of the Pancharanga Kshetrams as well. There are several Pasurams for this temple, for this Perumal, Alvar Mangala Sasarams, Periyazhwar, Andal, Thirumanchai Alvar, Thirumangai Alvar, Bhudathalvar, Peyalvar and Nammalvar. 7 of the Alvars have sung on this Perumal. Many Pasurams. Nammalvar's Aravamade Pasuram will melt one's heart. And when we listen to Periyazhwar's taking him as Krishna, how he says, Sargamani talar nada nadavano. He says, how the little child will come, little Krishna will come walking. And Thirumanchai Alvar, we will see it in more detail when he listen to his Pasurams. The Sthala or the story or the legend behind this temple, how Perumal appeared here, goes as once Hema Maharishi did great penance to obtain Sri Mahalakshmi as his daughter. And Perumal, being pleased with his penance, blessed him that Sri Mahalakshmi will be born to him as his daughter. And so Tayar emerges from a golden lotus in this temple tank. That's why it's called Potramarai. So she's also called Potramarayal, since she came from the Potramarai means Pon is gold and Tamarai is lotus. So since she appeared from the golden lotus, out of many of the lotuses that were there, this temple tank is called Potramarai Kulam. And Perumal appeared with all his, on a chariot drawn by horses, and all his Srirangam, that is the will, that is the bow and arrow and everything, and descended on this place and married Tayar. So we see Tayar appearing from the Kulam, from the temple tank, and the Thirukalyanam happening between Tayar and Perumal. Hema Maharshi was really truly blessed, and he did a lot of penance, and he was truly blessed when Tayar himself was born to him as his daughter. That is why the Sannidhi of this temple itself is in the form of a chariot. The 61st Pasuram of Tiruchandavritam is the 6th Pasuram on Thirukkudandhai. This is a very beautiful Pasuram, and how Perumal responds to Alvar's request, and it very beautifully brings out the closeness on the Saulabhyam and the Sausiliam of Perumal, and the greatness of Alvar, and how Perumal listens to Alvar and gives him darshanam the way he requests. He says, during the Ramavataram you are walking all through the forest. Is your leg paining because of that? Or during the Vamanavataram and the Trivikramavataram, you measured all of the earth, you became so big. The whole world was shaking. And because of that, do you feel tired? And because of all, when you were going in the forest, there were so many animals which came in your way. Taking care of them and doing all of that, do you feel tired because of that? Is that why you are lying in the beautiful banks of the river Kaveri? Kaveri Karai, Angadiyo Kudandai, Thirukkudandhai in Kumbakonam. You are lying down. So I am here to get your blessings. Kidandavaru எழுந்திருந்து பேசு. You will talk to me the way you are lying down. You do not have to get up fully. When Perumal got up, Alvar told him, enough, the way you got up, a little is enough. Talk to me that way. And that is why Perumal is in Uttana Sainam in Thirukkudandhai. Sarangabani Uttana Sainam. Now we'll see the Pasuram. Very beautiful Pasuram. நடந்த கால்கள் நொந்தவோ நடுங்க ஞாலம் ஏனமாய் இடந்தமை குலுங்கவோ விலங்குமால் வரைச்சுரம் கடந்த கால் பரந்த காவிரி கரை குடந்தையுள் கிடந்தவாறு எழுந்திரு பேசு வாழி கேசனே. கிடந்தவாறு எழுந்திருந்து பேசு வாழி கேசனே. He said, talk to me, but talk to me as you are lying down. Kidanda, as halfway through you are getting up. Just talk to me in the same way. Very beautiful. நடந்த கால்கள் நொந்தவோ நடுங்க ஞாலம் ஏனமாய் இடந்தமை குலுங்கவோ விலங்குமால் வரைச்சுரம் கடந்த கால் பரந்த காவிரி கரை குடந்தையுள் கிடந்தவாறு எழுந்திருந்து பேசுவாழி கேசனே. And Perumal listens to Alvar and gives us Darsanam in Uttanasayanam. Thirukudandhai is very divine in more than one way. We already saw how Bhagavan, because of his Sausiliam and Saulabhyam and his affection towards Alvar, stays in Uttanasayanam. We also see how the Kshetram paved the way for us to have the Anubhavam of Divya Prabandham today. Divya Prabandham was lost, and Sriman Nathamunigal came to this Divya Kshetram for Perumal's Darsanam and heard the Goshti sing Nammalvar Thiruvamuri Pasuram. ஆரா அமுதே ஆரா அமுதே அடியேன் உடலம் நின்பால் அன்பாயே நீராய் அலைந்து கரைய உருக்குகின்ற நெடுமாலே சீரா சென்னல் கவரி வீசும் செழுநீர் திருக்குடந்தை ஏறார் கோலம் திகழக் கிடந்தாய் கண்டேன் எம்மானே. And this goes for 10 pasurams. When he listened to this, he said, these pasurams are so beautiful. Arada Amudu. And when he listens to the last pasuram, which is Airathil Ippattu, that means there are 1,000 pasurams, out of which these 10 alone was there. When Nathamanigal listens to these pasurams, some of the words which really captivated him is Arada Amudu. That is, Bhagavan is never satiating. We are never satisfied with his nectar of his love. And Urukkuginra Nedumal, that Perumal is melting everybody. And he says, Perumal is Ennai Alvan. He is our protector and he is our guide. He is our director. He directs everything what we do. We dance his tune. Ulappilane, that means he has no comparison and he has no end. Kudandai kidanda sendamarai kanna. That is, he said, the Perumal who is lying down is so beautiful with his red lotus-like eyes. Vanor Koman, he is the king of the Vanaras. Yarin Isaye. Yar is a very divine, celestial musical instrument which can be compared to the Veena. And how the melodious tune of the Veena is, he says, Bhagavan is like Yarin Isai and he is Amud. He is sweet. We say Satamad. Sadam, rice itself is called Amud in our language. So, Sengan Karumugile. Karumugil is Kannan. Kannan is all, Lord Krishna is always projected as he is dark. So he is Sengan. His eyes are red, but the Perumal itself is dark hue. இசைவித்து என்னை உன்தாள் இணைக்கில் இருத்தும் அம்மானே. So he actually holds us. He is that Amman or he is that Mama. The relationship of that Amma, that is mother's brother, Ammane, is so close. So Perumal is so close to us and he is the most important one for us. Amarar Talaivar Talaiva Adi Perumurti. He is the king of the kings and he is Adi Perumurti. Varimen Maya Maya Murtiyai. These are some of the Kalyana Gurams of Perumal which captivates us. Ara Amude Adiye Navi Agame Tittipai. That is, Agam is your heart or your mind. Tittipai, he is so sweet. Tira Vinaigal Tira Ennai Andai. That is, you take care of all my problems. Tira the Vinai. Anything that cannot be solved, you are the one who can solve it. Pechu Mulayudu Avalai Uirundan. This is, he tells the story of Putana. When Lord Krishna drinks the milk from Putana and kills the Rakshasi. Kurugur Sadagopan Kulain Maliyat Chonna Or Airathul Ippathum Madalai Thiravallar. That means Kurugur Sadagopan, that is Nammalvar, who has said these 10 out of the 1,000. Airathul Ippathum. This is a very important thing, or this is what really struck Nathamunigal when he thought when he says Airathul Ippath, so now we know only 10. What happened to the other 1,000? If this 10 is so good, where can we see the others? And then Alvar talks to Perumal saying, Unnai allal yavaralum ondrum kuraivenden. I will not go and tell anybody any of my difficulties excepting you. Sarangapani Aravamudane. Un charanam tande yen chanmam kalayaye. Says, you will give me refuge and you will relieve me from the cycle of birth and death. Alvar says, Talara udalam yanadavi sarindu pombodhu ilayadunadal orungap pidithu poda isai niye. Which means, he says, during the last time when my body is just sliding, you hold me with your hand as a light music and you take me with you. So these are very powerful words and which really takes any of us into the divine world. And not enough to say about Nathamunigal, who was a great saint. And so he now starts thinking. Now what does he do next? He understands the last verses, Airathil Ippathum, and he realized there should be another 990, which the Sevartis of Thirukkudandhai did not know. So he said, we should get this. And he then goes to Thirukkurugur, because it is meant in the Pasuram itself that Thirukkurugur Sadagopan. So he goes to Thirukkurugur and asks those people, the Sevartis there. And the Sevartis in Thirukkurugur say, we do not know anything about that Aravamadu Pasuram. But all we know is Madhurakavi Alvar's Kanninum Siruthambu. So it would be best for you to recite the Kanninum Siruthambu 12,000 times praying to Nammalvar, who is under the Puliyamaram. And Nathamuni says Madhurakavi Alvar's Kanninum Siruthambu 12,000 times, and hearing this, Nammalvar, who feels very happy, he gives Nathamuni not only the 1,000, he gives them the whole of the 4,000 Nalayana Divya Prabandham, saying that you ask for 1,000, but there are other Alvars who have sung on so many Perumals. So I will give you everything. And through his Jnana Drishti, he transfers everything to Nathamunigal, who in turn brought it to us, organized everything, and gave it to us for us to enjoy as we see and hear and recite it today. A great Anubhavam of Arulishayal Nalayar Divya Prabandham. All this happens because it all started from Thirukkudandhai, Aravumadhu, which paved the way for us to get the Nalayar Divya Prabandham. The Tirtham is Hema Tirtham, Patramari Kulam, Kaveri Nadi. Kumbakonam is on the banks of Kaveri Nadi and Arasalari Nadi. The Vimanam is Vaidaka Vimanam or Veda Vimanam. Moreover, in this Kshetram, in Kumbakonam, in Thirukkudandhai is Sarangapani Aravamudan Uttana Sai. Perumal is Kidanda Thirukkolam Uttana Sainam. Tirumukha Mandalam facing east. Tayar is Komalavali Tayar, Pratyaksham to Hema Maharishi. As in Thiruvellarai, this Sharangapani temple also has two entries into the Sanctum Sanctorum. Uttarayana Vasal, which is open from Thai Masam to Ani Masam, and Dakshinayana Vasal, which is open from Adi Masam to Margazhi Masam. Thirukkudandhai, Kumbakonam, Sarangapani Perumal, Komalavalli Tayar Sameda, Sarangapani Perumal. Gurumukhamanaditya praha vedan aseshan narapati parikluptam sulkamadatu kamaha swasuram amaravandyam ranganatasya sakshat dvijakulathalakam tam vishnu chittam namami. Ninnar tadamadil sool villi puttur ennoru kaal sonnar kadar kamalam soodinom முன்னால் கிழியறுத்தான் என்றுரைத்தோம் கீழ்மையினில் சீரும் வழியறுத்தோம் நெஞ்சமே வந்து பாண்டியன் கொண்டாட பட்டர்பிரான் வந்தான் என்று ஈண்டிய சங்கம் எடுத்தூத வேண்டிய வேதங்களோடு விரைந்து கிழியறுத்தான் பாதங்கள் யாமுடைய பற்று. கொங்கும் குடந்தையும் கோட்டியூரும் பேரும் எங்கும் திரிந்து விளையாடும் என் மகன் சங்கம் பிடிக்கும் தடக்கைக்கு தக்க நல்லங்கம் உடையதோர் கோல் கொண்டு வா அரக்கு வழித்ததோர் கோல் கொண்டு வா. ஆலத்திலையான் அரவினனை மேலான் நீலக்கடலுள் நெடுங்காலம் கண் வளர்ந்தான் பாலப்பிராயத்தே பார்த்தற்கு அருள் செய்த கோலப்பிரானுக்கோர் கோல் கொண்டு வா குழந்தை கிடந்தார்கோர் கோல் கொண்டு வா. After chiding Kannana Perumal in the last two pasarams, now Yashoda Mata is calling Perumal to come and wear different kinds of flowers. So in this pasaram 2.7.7 she sings Kudangal eduthera vittu கூத்தாட வல்லையம் கோவே மடங்கள் மதிமுகத்தாரை மால் செய்ய வல்லையன் மைந்தா இடந்திட்டு இரணியன் நெஞ்சை இறைப்பிளவா முக்கீண்டாய் குடந்தை கிடந்த என் கோவே குறுக்கத்தி பூச்சூட்டவா. The Sannadhi itself is unique in the sense that it is in the form of a chariot. It is said that Perumal descended with all his chariot and the horses, along with his bow and arrow. That is called Sarangam, is the bill or the bow. Perumal came like that to marry Tayar, Komalavalli Tayar. So, this temple is in the form of a chariot. Another uniqueness of this temple is there are two entrances to the Garbhagram. One is during the Uttarayana Punyakalam and the other is through the Dakshinayana Punyakalam. And it is said that since Perumal descended directly from Sri Vaikuntam here, in his chariot along with the horses. There is no special Vaikuntam Ekadashi in this temple. The Divya Darsanam of Perumal at any time gives us the benefit of Vaikuntam Ekadashi. Patala Srinivasa is very interesting and unique. Durvasa Maharishi comes to see Perumal in his abode, and at that time Perumal is having his time with Sri Mahalakshmi Tayar, and the Rishi kicks Perumal on his chest where he gets his Srivatsam. And Perumal, on seeing the Maharishi, he gets up and he apologizes. Tayar, on seeing Perumal, the superfar, apologizing to a Maharishi, she gets upset and she's angry and she comes down to the earth and stays in Kolhapur, Sri Mahalakshmi. And Perumal comes down to Thirupathi, as we see in the Srinivasa Vaibhavam, to get married to Alamelu Mangatayar. And when Sri Mahalakshmi of Kolhapur hears this, she gets very angry and she really comes chasing Perumal. And Perumal, in that sense, keeps roaming around and comes to Thirukudandhai Sharangabani temple, and he goes in the bottom, that is in the Patala, a few steps below, and hides. And Sri Mahalakshmi comes there, and eventually she understands that she's got to do her penance in Pattamarikulam and to marry Perumal. This is a story of Patala Srinivasa. It is a very small outlet and very easy to miss. So when we go to the temple, we have to make special efforts to see this Patala Srinivasa. After having Darshanam of Perumal, Aravamudan, Sarangapani, and doing the Pradarshana of the Sannadhi, that is as a chariot, we come to Tayar Sannadhi. Komalavalli Nachyar. Komalam is beautiful, beautiful Tamarai. So she is called Komalavalli Tayar. Tayar is Tanikovil Nachyar. After having the Divya Darsanam in Thirukkudandhai of Aravamudan and singing Periyazhwar Thirumozhi, we prostrate to him and say, Aravamude ennai urukkuginra nedumale en sanmam kalayaye, which means, I am never satiated with your nectar and you are melting me, and you are the only one who can give me relief from the cycle of birth and death. After praying to this Perumal, now we next go to our next Divya Desam, Thirukannapuram, where Nammalvar said, Sharanam Kodukkum Perumal, Varanamanal Sharanam Kodukkum Perumal. So we go there to Thirukannapuram. Adiyongal Dasoham, Dhanyosmi for joining us in our Periyazhwar Thirumozhi Ani Swati, July 5th, 2025, in our Chozha Natty Divya Desams in Thirukkudandhai. And from now, we go to the next Divya Desams in Thirukannapuram. Dhanyosmi and Dasoham from Parthasadi Srinivasan family. Please send your feedback to brindavanjapam@gmail.com for us to make this Anubhavam better. Enjoy more Vaishnava Anubhavam on www.brindavanjapam.org.